here we go. Well, this is a little project we're going to end up working on. It's a little Yamaha 80 Y-Zinger, almost like a Pw80, I would say. It's been sitting outside, as you can see, and looks like it's got a aftermarket carburetor on it, and the intake boot was left off of it. So I think it might have got some water down in it. I don't know if it's fixable, but we're gonna give it a shot. I know the throttle cable is stuck. You can see it hanging out there, so it may need a new throttle cable. But this is for my neighbor down the street, Justin, and it's one of his play toys. I'm gonna get it fixed up for him so he and his daughters can ride it again. So it's all complete. So it's a full bike, just it's old. We'll get it running here. So let's get to it and let's start pulling this carb and stuff off. So you can see petcock is broke off. Can't get to it. Let's see if we can turn it closed to the off position. No. We'll see if that holds. The slide's not stuck in there, so I think the throttle cable is rusted up. So that's a good sign. Slide's working. See that? I don't know if it'll focus. That junk on the slide there. Look, I can wipe it off. Like oxidized bad gas or something. Here's inside that little transition box. This is the cable all the way up to the actual throttle on the handlebars, and then you see this block. It has the two cables coming out the back. And then of course the one cable I showed you goes to the carb. And then the further cable goes to the oil injection, but it's all seized up. So I'm gonna have to take this apart, see, I think the cable might be seized up in here. You can see I can move these cables. So this cable and even the oil injection cable are moving nicely in the cable itself inside the sheathing, but somewhere it's jammed up in here. Hopefully we can get it unjammed and not have to buy a new one. Let's check that out. All right, so we're gonna pull this throttle assembly off and get the cable out of there. So what I'm doing right now is I'm pulling on the cable, and as you can see, so this cable is going to be good. It's loose. I can pull it. See it pull it closed. So the cable is loose within the sheathing itself, so it's inside of here, which you can tell. There we go. With my one arm, of course, my bad arm, you can hear it. So something is locked up, so that's good. We'll clean this out and hopefully get that thing working. See, I can pull the cable. So the cable is good. It's this. Look at this. So that'll be an easy fix. We'll get that pulled apart. Probably have to clean it and grease it up, and that'll be the first easy part. Now can you see why? Look at the rust. I mean, I can feel the rust build up. Water's gotten in there and just rusted that off. Look at that. All right, so as you can see, that rust, and I can feel the buildup on that. So just take this piece of sandpaper, emery cloth, whatever you got, and you cut it down to a thin strip. That stuff's on there. Well, I'll put some grease on here. Try to help this thing not corrode. Laying out in the rain and washing it and squirting water in there definitely did not help at all. Yes, there we go. Get the cable back in there and we're set. Okay, well, we got the carb off, and we're gonna have to take this thing apart. I think it's got some junk in it. Definitely had some fuel in it. Maybe it all drained out. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that doesn't look good. So, like I said, we're gonna take this thing apart and we'll put it in the Ultrasonic Cleaner. And it should be interesting to see what's inside this bowl. So let's get it apart. Not too bad. Better than I thought. There is some stuff down in the bottom there. Hard to see. Hear the rain, a little thunder. Got some storms coming through, so bear with me. This is the main jet. You can see through it, so that's good. Main jet. It's not clogged up. It usually is okay. Usually it's the pilot jet that gives us some trouble. So right here is a big culprit on bad fuel or leftover fuel. This is called the pilot jet. We'll see. We'll see if this, like I said, this was an aftermarket Chinese carburetor, so I don't think it's that old. I just think it was left sit for a few months. There goes the pilot. She's got a lot of junk on her. Hard to see. You see those holes. Actually, you can see through them in the camera, so that's a good sign. Still a lot of garbage in there. Again, we're gonna put that thing in the Ultrasonic Cleaner. Let's see where these adjustment screws are set. So we'll tighten them in. 1, 1 1/4. So we'll know where to set them back. I don't know if they've been touched. If the owner has messed with them at all, but we'll put them back to that. Should be a spring in here. You can see these jets. Now this is aftermarket Chinese. I think they probably skimped, but if it was a Japanese carburetor, Mikuni or Kian or something, there would be a seal up on the top threads here with a little washer where the spring goes in. I don't see that in the Carb at all. Doesn't surprise me. Okay. So you see I have a little, this is actually a spray paint cup. It's just a little cup I'm going to use. I use it for cleaning parts, small jets and things that I don't want to fall down into the Ultrasonic Cleaner and have to scrounge around. So what I'll do is I'll throw all the jets and things I want to get cleaned that I don't want to fall to the bottom. Okay, well here's another tool, piece of equipment that we have. It's basically an ultrasonic cleaner. This is an eBay special. It's a pretty good size. I'll actually put the description, the size, and where I got it off of eBay if it's still listed. But you could go on eBay, you'll see these. Didn't pay very much for it, but you can see it's got a temperature. I've already got it warmed up. And then we got some time frame that it's going to actually run. But here's inside of it. It's got a nice little basket. It's all stainless. Right now I've got simple green and water in it. You can use all different types of things, more aggressive. But this works out pretty good. So we're talking the temperature there is, I have it set, and that's in Celsius. So I forget what that is, about 145 Fahrenheit. Don't know my Celsius calculation, but yeah, it's warm, and it will help clean these parts. So we got the carburetor base. You can see it's got dirt all in it. On the exterior, some junk inside. We just lay it down in the basket. Oop. Here's the bowl. Again, the bowl is dirty. Again, this is a newer carburetor, so it should clean up pretty good. And again, I have my little basket, which I'll let the holes in the bottom of it fill up with water. Put the lid on. And then I usually go 5 minutes at a time. But this is the timer. This is 5 minutes. As you can see, the countdown. And we'll see the parts when we get them back out. Okay, it's running. Still counting down. But I forgot to put some pieces in. No big deal. And I'm going to drop them right down in my little bucket here. This is the slide and the needle. As you can see here, how ultrasonic works, you can see the discoloration and some of the agitation. Is it uses high frequency sound waves to agitate the water and the molecules in the water, and you can see they're agitating, and it actually makes a scrubbing action. And the nice thing about an ultrasonic is it can get in, it's liquid, so it's going in through all those tiny orifices inside the carburetor. It doesn't hurt you to stick your hand in there while it's running. As you can see, it already looks clean. It's doing a great job. But yes, that's the nice thing for carburetors. You have all those orifices and passageways that you never are able to get in there and clean. This will get in there and clean them. So here's another tip for you guys. These are chassis bolts. Looks like one might be for swing arm linkage and maybe a shock mount. These are factory Hondas, but you can see the dirt on them. And when you're rebuilding bikes like we do, and you know you're going powder coat, you're going to clean them, you're going to try to make it look brand new before the first ride. You want to clean these. In the past, what we've had to do is you take a wire brush or a wire wheel, and you can take them off and get pretty clean. It's hard to get down into that counter bore of those type of bolts right here, or this style. The ultrasonic does wonders. So watch, I'll put them in the ultrasonic. This is another reason why we bought the machine. And you'll see when they come out that it'll be cleaned, and all you have to do is, dry them off, blow them off, and they're good to go. Okay, so we put those 2 bolts in there. We're on the last couple seconds. She'll shut off. Let's open this up. So, we saw how dirty those bolts were. Drain the water out. As you can see, they already look clean. They are fully clean. You can see even the threads have gotten clean. Could wipe them off a little bit. And then this, now we remember, you probably need to blow it off, but remember how this was dirty down inside of that counterbore? Look at that. That is the benefit of an ultrasonic cleaner. Just imagine, you see how big the vat is. You could put all your chassis bolts, you could put your engine bolts, you could do whatever you're working on, put them in there. That was, I put that on for 5 minutes. Sometimes you may have to do it twice if it's really, really dirty, but you end up with clean bolts looking like brand new, and you could put your bike together and come out and everybody's saying, wow, what a new looking bike. No scrubbing. So that's the nice part. Ultrasonic Cleaner does some wonders for things, so you don't have to scrub or wire wheel. Guys, here's the finished carb. See, it's really clean. I blew it out with the air on all the orifices. Looks pretty clean. The thing I did notice, and you can see here, this bowl was in there. So what you got to be careful of is some of your aluminum, which these are, and these are die cast aluminum. And this is cheap. I mean, this is China made. This is not a Mikuni or a Kian. Is that this is porous. So as it cleaned the ultrasonic, it pulled the dirt out of the pores. When I pulled this out, as you can see, it's in there. It's embedded. Now you can brush it off or wipe it off with a little abrasiveness, but that's a lot of work, especially in the nooks and crannies. This has happened to me before. So I'll show you another way to clean these carbs with the ultrasonic, and then with another technique I use that'll make this look just brand new, get rid of all that oxidation. I'm going to show you how to clean this carb that's been oxidized in the from the ultrasonic cleaner. So as you can see here, I got a little sandblasting unit, cheap Harbor Freight. And I got a bucket here, and I got some baking soda, basically sodium bicarbonate. That's all it is. You can use really baking soda, an Armor Hammer. I've done that to test it, but this is from Harbor Freight. Basically what we're going to do is we're just going to soda blast the carburetor housings in the bowl, and you'll bring it right back looking like new. Just be careful, wear some safety glasses. I'm wearing some heavy nitrile gloves. I mean, the soda's not really abrasive, so that's the nice part. It's really just a cleaner. And let's see how it goes. Okay, as you can see, got it all cleaned up. Soaked it in hot water. Got that baking soda off of it. Blasted air through all the orifices, made sure it was all cleaned out, and now we're ready for assembly. So here's the air box, and just what I was expecting. Here's the air filter, if you can see it, totally going away, and it just disintegrates when you touch it. I imagine this thing is probably the original one, so that's another problem with the bike. We're going to have to get a new air filter, something in there. That's just sucking in dirt. But we'll get this air box all cleaned up and hopefully be able to get one of these filters relatively quick. The other cool thing with Ultrasonic Cleaner is it can clean anything, really. We saw, you know, obviously the aluminum, you got to be careful with that. And if I can remember now, this solution is simple green, and it's very strong. It's not diluted. I forgot I was doing some really tough cleaning on it, so that's why, you know, you got to be careful with the carburetors. Should use some other type of solution that's not going to oxidize. But anyway, you can see this is the air box. It's plastic. We rebuild a lot of bikes. Obviously, you want this thing to look brand new. So you would scrub this by hand. You know, simple green is fine with a rag and everything, but you would be there forever and to get into all the nooks and crannies. Well, what we end up doing is just using the system. And guess what? It doesn't fit all the way down in there. It doesn't matter. We'll flip it over, but you'll see it will clean this off. Now, when you do something like this, you know, this fluid is very strong. I was using it for some more like carbon steel bolts and stuff that I knew wasn't getting corroded, so it had grease and stuff on it. It's going to get really dirty. So yeah, when you do a carb, you got to be careful, and you would want a clean solution in here. And you could have those, you know, stored in different jugs if you wanted to drain them out. But you know, just turn it on and let it go. Okay, let's see what it looks like in here. Remember that back side with all that grease that was on it? Look at it, it looks brand new. Wipe this down, rinse it off with some clean water, and we're good to go. You're not gonna believe what happened, guys. So, got it all back together and was putting some fuel in it, and I noticed fuel running out this hole right here. All right, normally here's your fuel nipple. I pulled that out, so that goes in there. And normally in Japanese carbs, a Mikuni or Keen or something, they have a little plug in here. And what I believe that is for is in the after the casting, that is where they drill through for the fuel to run in, and then they plug it. Well, somehow, some way, I don't know if it was from the heat from the ultrasonic, that plug popped out. I think it might have been a ball bearing that they jammed in there, but it was not retained any different way. So what I'm going to do, let's see if this works. You see what I have in my hand here, I'll put it down, that's a piece of stainless welding wire I just cut, and it just fits inside that hole. I'm gonna basically see if I can hammer it in that hole and plug that hole, sort of like what was originally in there. Crazy. So as you can see, I have it in there right now, and I'm gonna see if I can drive it in there and seal this port off. Okay, we got it back on. Let's see, just got the air box off of it right now. It just opened up to the air. I just want to see if it's going to run. We had a lot of crap in the cylinder. I oiled the cylinder. I ran it a few times with a spark plug out of it. Definitely had some water in there. I don't know what it's done to the cylinder itself, but let's see if this thing will fire up. Okay guys, here we got the air box. Look how clean that thing is. Looks brand new. Again, Ultrasonic Cleaner does wonders. Now, you saw the air filter that was all basically degraded and disintegrated. I think I'm going to try to make one. It's just a rectangle, it's small, and I got an old uni filter here out of one of the 450s. We don't even run uni filters anymore. We definitely like the Twin Airs now. They do a better job at filtering. That's what we feel in the dusty conditions. But anyway, it's a decent filter. I'm going to cut this down, and I'm going to fit it inside of here and basically have its own little uni filter. So I'm going to see how that goes, see what we can do with it. So you can see now, just made these two rectangles. The red should be on the outside here, and the yellow on the inside. We'll see if we can get this to work. This would be great if it can. I think it's going to work. There we go, guys. Brand new unit filter. For the little Y-Zinger.
Well guys, that'll be the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the little bike rebuild. As you see from the last two clips of us actually starting and riding it, that little pin that we tried to just mock up and fix, I guess where they plugged up from the ball bearing or something that got it fell out when we were cleaning it. So we tried to fix it with that little piece of wire, but it seemed like it didn't have a good seal. So as you can see from the clips, it was the gasoline was coming out the carb still. So I think we're just gonna reorder one of those cheap China carbs, or order the factory Yamaha carb. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys go down in the comments, let us know how the video was, and make sure you guys subscribe to the channel for more awesome content, and we'll see you guys in the next one.